Hello and welcome to Wanda Brown Interior Designs YouTube channel. I am Wanda and I'd like to talk to you today about how to make your interior design project run smoothly. What's your part and what you can do to make that happen? Okay, we all love watching different programs on, let's say, HGTV and watching them demolish an entire room. And within that same half-hour program, that room has come back together. They show the carpenters, the plumbers, they show the painters, they show the furniture coming in, and it's fabulous, but it's not reality. I want you to know that. If you worked on any design project anytime, you understand clearly that that is not how things go. I want you to know that in order to make your project run smoothly, though, you have a huge part to play in that. The first thing to do is what Stephen Covey made very famous. The statement that he said was, begin with the end in mind. That's exactly what you want to do. So even before you hire an interior designer for a space you're thinking about remodeling, you want to start thinking about, what do you want that space to look like? How are you going to be using that space? What's your budget? At the end of the project, how much will you have spent and you feel comfortable with spending? Who else is involved in making the decisions? You need to talk to them. What are their needs? What are their concerns? What do they like? What don't they like? These are all things that you need to really think about and begin to write down. I would begin to have a notebook and start making notes. And if you're not sure of what you like or what you really want, then start looking at images. I know everybody likes to look at things on the internet now, and it's great. But sometimes you can look at images for hours on end, and you still have no clear clue of what it is you want. So sometimes you might have to go old school and go and buy a magazine that specifically speaks to your taste. If you like country, if you like contemporary, if you like very traditional things, buy magazines that are showing rooms or spaces with those types of feels in mind. And what I recommend people do is just tear out pages of something, anything that catches your eye. Don't even worry about what it is. Just take it out and begin to put a folder together. Now, you can definitely do this online, but don't get caught up online looking at all these pictures and you're spending hours and hours and hours. It shouldn't take hours and hours. You should begin to see things pretty quickly and begin to put them in folders. And after you have put this folder together, what I want you to do is go back through that folder and take a look at it, because it'll kind of give you a better idea of what it is that you like. Then you call your designer. Call them in on the project, and you have to be actively engaged in the process, especially in the beginning phases, because it's your responsibility to help them to understand what it is that you want. This is your home. We're not living there. You live there. Your family lives there. You're using this space. So you have to be actively engaged in explaining what your needs are, what your budget is, what you like, what you don't like. We can't tell you what those things are. I'm going to tell you, when people say to me, just do whatever you want to do. No, I can't do that because I'm not living here. And it will not satisfy you and your needs in the long run. So the other thing is, when it's time to make the decisions, you don't have to make snap decisions. And if it's something that you're really not clear on and you may need to do a little research on, that's fine. But the faster you make your decisions and the faster that plan is in place, the faster and the smoother your project will go. Now, I'm not saying that once the project gets underway and you have made all of these decisions, you have started the process, your designer has begun to hire the contractors, or you are hiring your contractors, you started to make your purchases. That's not the time really to make changes. So before you actually proceed with your project, you need to be okay with all of the decisions that you have made. Now, that's not to say that things don't come up and things don't happen. Every day fabrics are discontinued. There are problems with factories. There may be a storm and certain things you can't get because the factories have been closed down. They're going to be closed for a period of time and you need to reselect. Well, don't worry about that. When those things happen, just be aware that those things can happen, and know that you and your interior designer are going to come up with the right solution to correct that, or to make that change, and it's going to be okay. But now is not the time to start looking at more magazines and finding new things. When I'm involved in a project and I have a client that does that, it's amazing how long their project will drag on. And I have to be honest with you, as an interior designer, I'm going to speak on behalf of designers, and I think many of them would agree with me. We begin to lose interest in the project because you've actually, as a designer, put your all into that project based on what that customer has told you, what that client has expressed that they want. And then when they begin to, after the process is underway, to make changes or to not be engaged or to hold off on ordering things or to, well, maybe I'll do something different, your interest is gone. You just want the project over, and you're not as engaged and interested in the project. That's just reality. So we'll help you through it, but just know we're not that excited about it anymore. I'm excited about every project I start on. I am so excited to help my clients achieve their goals. And I can't wait to have them living it within their space and loving it. But when it begins to drag on, it drags on for me as well. And if it drags on and there's a lot of time in between before you can make a decision or before you proceed with your ordering, or there's a long lapse in there, there's other clients that we're working with, and there's other projects that we're focused on. So we have to go ahead and focus on those things. And then we have to jump back into your job mentally, emotionally, and try to get the team back together to get your project going. So if you can come to a decision in the beginning, once you guys come up with a plan and you just move forward with that plan, your plan is going to become a reality much faster. Now, just to give you a few time frames on just some things, just so you know, if you're doing a bathroom remodel, let's say you're doing a complete gutting of your bathroom and you're remodeling, you're changing the tile, you're taking out everything that was in there, that process is probably going to take you about 6 to 8 weeks. And it could take more depending on how extensive the process is. Now, there are things that could come up that will make that process longer. Let's say, for example, they tear everything out and there's mold in your walls or on your floors. Let's say that the foundation is not right. The flooring, there's something that needs to be changed in the floors or the studs or just something. There's things that you can't get around. But if you have a very good team of contractors that are putting your space back together, generally it's about a 6 to 8 week turnaround process. The other thing is some of the items that you are ordering could be on back order. So what I recommend to my clients is we don't start anything until everything has been ordered and received if we're doing a kitchen or bathroom remodel. Because the last thing you want is to tear your house apart, then start ordering, and then only to find out that certain things are on back order for 8 weeks. Well, there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to wait. And so instead of your house being torn apart for a couple of months, it could be 6 months. It could be longer. And we don't want that. So I try to be very proactive when we're working on projects like that. Have everything ordered. Most of the time, have everything received before they even begin. But at least know that everything we've ordered, it's on its way. So I hope that helped you today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Or if you have a comment about something that you've experienced, leave us a comment. I'd love to hear from you. This is not just me talking to you. I want you to talk to me. So let me know what you would like me to talk about, questions you want me to answer, and let me know your comments. Let me know your experiences. I love to read about them. Have a blessed day.